Good Wednesday morning, friends. I'm Ashley Ruiz, and we are in the Storm Tracker Weather Center this morning. It is 9:17, so just a heads up, if you do see this a little later in the day, just know that some of this information may be a little outdated. The tropics, we get several updates from the National Hurricane Center several times a day. So we'll have another update a little later this morning, this afternoon, and then this evening. But you can always find the latest on brproud.com. So we'll get started. Right now it is 84 degrees, feels like 95. We have some beautiful cumulus clouds just painting the sky. And today our rain chance is going to be a little lower than yesterday. Still expecting some wet weather though. The rain chance around 40%. Maybe 30% for some spots, so this just all in all tells us that not all areas will see some rain. Rain coverage is not going to be all that high. High near 92 degrees, feeling like the triple digits, and then this evening things will begin to quiet on down. So again, could see a few spotty thunderstorms. Rain chances really begin to increase starting tomorrow. This is when the tropics come into play. Around 70% for now. Numerous showers and thunderstorms are expected. May have to bump the rain chance up Friday and then the next several days after that as well. Currently around 60% on Saturday, going to be a little lower. But as of right now, Friday looks to be the wettest day. Currently in the tropics, we have two things we're going to talk about. We have Invest 91, which is a tropical wave that is starting to move into the central Gulf of Mexico. And just getting information in from the 53rd Weather Reconnaissance Squadron. They are based in Biloxi, Keesler Air Force Base. They are the hurricane hunters. They just got alerted that they will be flying into 91L today. And it's a low-level invest, so that's going to be just mainly south of Biloxi. So they fly into it, see what's going on, and then they drop several drop-ons to get all the information, sea surface temperature, get some wind data, all of that. Because of course right now we're just going off of satellite and buoy data. So with them going into it, they tell us what is going on. So it's currently not very organized. It is in a higher sheared environment, but as it tracks toward the central Gulf of Mexico and then eventually the northern Gulf of Mexico, northwestern Gulf of Mexico, it's going to have that potential to develop into a tropical entity. Whether that's a tropical depression, maybe even a weak tropical storm. But the good news with this, we're not anticipating rapid intensification. It's traveling a good speed right now, west-northwest at 12 miles per hour. And you see some of the spaghetti plots. These are just tropical models, and of course, some of them are run several times a day. So this is going to change. You may see other models posted on the internet, social media, all of that. But all in all, right now, the general thinking is it's going to track toward Texas. Where in Texas, that's unknown at the moment, but some outliers bring it to southwest Louisiana. But all in all, the confidence is growing that it should stay to the south of Louisiana, but we'll still feel impacts here in south of Louisiana, but more so near the coast and offshore. So I'll go back to this just so you can see. Again, there is a 50% chance for development, 40% chance for development within the next 2 days. May become Tropical Depression 8. We'll have to wait and see, but we'll know more once the hurricane hunters fly into it a little later today. But again, they got cleared to go ahead for the flight. It was canceled yesterday, but now they're able to go and fly in it. As for potential local impacts, the coastal waters will get impacted. The lakes 2 to 4 feet, and then perhaps on our area or the Gulf of Mexico out 20 nautical miles. This is the forecast for near Port Fourchon and near Grand Isle. 4 to 7 feet increasing on Thursday and Friday with a wind out of the east and then southeast between 15 and 20 knots. So not going to be the best of time to be out on the water whatsoever, but our conditions will begin to improve in the coming days. Also, as I mentioned, heavy rain. This is mainly what we're going to be watching for. The Weather Prediction Center has placed our area under a marginal risk for excessive rainfall, which means flash flooding Thursday and Friday, and then again Friday into Saturday. So a marginal risk is on the lower side. We'll be able to fine-tune this in the coming days, but this just tells us that, yes, heavy rain is going to be a potential threat, with the heaviest of rainfall really staying offshore and near the immediate coastline. So you see these pink colors, that's indicating possibly up to 4 inches of rain, 3.5 to 4 inches of rain. But then the purple color goes more inland and gets closer to the I-10 corridor. So that would mean 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain. But the general thinking as of right now is 1 to 3 inches of rain over the next 5 days. Some spots possibly up to 4 inches, but you guys know when we get tropical downpours, you can double those amounts because they are heavy rain. We have deep tropical moisture, and that could easily lead to several inches of rain in a short amount of time. Also, not just that, again, with onshore winds, which is likely what we're going to have, that is going to lead to possibly some coastal flooding. So our coastal parishes would see the greatest impacts. Higher tides also could lead to coastal flooding, and then possibly some water spouts. We could have some tropical funnels, and then we get some of those low top storms or low top cells that could rotate a little bit. That might have to be something we'll watch for. But again, we'll be able to know more once, if and when it develops. Also, the National Hurricane Center, once they get some of that data from the national or from the hurricane hunters, they'll be able to kind of tell us what's going on, what we could potentially see. But again, this is not looking like it's going to directly impact Louisiana, but we're still going to see rain. The latest run of Futurecast brings numerous showers across the area tomorrow, and then pretty much at any point during the day. We'll still have marine breezes that will fire up some showers and storms, and then again we have a good bit of instability, and then we have that deep tropical moisture, and then with that area of low pressure potentially down to the south of us, that'll also trigger some showers and thunderstorms, with rain coverage possibly increasing into Friday, as you see numerous to possibly widespread showers across the area on Friday. Also, this is just in as of this morning, we have Tropical Storm Gonzalo. This was as around 7:50 this morning. It's still over 1,200 miles east of the southern Windward Islands. It is moving to the west-northwest at 12 miles per hour. It's an itty-bitty thing, but it is definitely getting its act together, getting more of that tropical storm structure, as you see right there on the satellite imagery. The latest track brings it to the Windward Islands, southern Windward Islands perhaps, on early Saturday morning perhaps, and then moving into the Caribbean. Notice as it does so and it tracks across the open Atlantic and then closer to the Windward Islands, it may be a strong tropical storm. Max sustained winds of 65 miles per hour. Would not write it completely off that it is a minimal hurricane by then, but once it moves into the Caribbean, it looks to weaken. It does look like it will encounter a more hostile environment. We'll have to wait and see if it does. Some models have it strengthening back into a stronger system, or some have it dissipating as a whole or just simply weakening. And then beyond that, obviously it's still going to be very far from the Gulf of Mexico. So we have plenty of time to watch this, even if it holds itself together. So we have the 7th named storm of the season, making it the earliest 7th named storm on record in the Atlantic Basin. The previous record was Gert, that occurred on July 24th, 2005. And if you recall, 2005 was a very active season, including the year of Hurricane Katrina, which impacted a lot of us, including myself. The next name on the list is Hannah. Could possibly see Invest 91 develop into that. The odds are low at this time, but we can't completely rule it out. As for where we are on the hurricane season timeline, so we're about right here-ish, and then peak season, the most intense storms usually occur from mid-August all the way to around mid-September. So we still have ways to go, and we've already had 7 named storms. So this is just a friendly reminder that, again, we are in hurricane season. All it takes is one, and again, forecasters are expecting this to be a very active season. And this is not something you want to see whatsoever. We have very warm sea surface temperatures. Not sure why the buoy data is not coming in. But all in all, I checked it yesterday, running between 85 and 90 degrees in the Gulf of Mexico. And that means our sea surface temperature anomalies are running between 1 and 5 degrees above normal, which is concerning and not something you want to see going into the peak of hurricane season. Also, aside from the tropics, we can talk a little bit astronomy. We have comet NEOWISE. I'm sure you've heard about this, seen pictures on social media. Well, tonight you'll be able to view it still between around 9:15 to around 11:51 p.m. Look up in the northwestern sky, look for the Big Dipper. If you don't know where that is, of course you can quickly Google it, and they have awesome pictures and illustrations of where to look. It's not going to be visible again past, I believe, the 23rd for another 6,800 years. So again, something cool to look for. Telescope photographers, I would take advantage of this for sure. It's past my bedtime for that, but I've seen the pictures and it's looking awesome. All right, and then we'll show you the 7-day, what's going on. Basically today, again, 40% chance for rain, 30 to 40%. Thursday and Friday, we'll see tropical rains, possibly into Saturday as well. And of course, keep in mind you can always find the latest on brproud.com and the free BR Proud app. There you can find the latest on the tropics. We have a whole section on tracking the tropics, and as soon as you open the app, you will see the Tracking the Tropics article that I wrote, and then we'll continuously keep it updated, and you can find your latest forecast as well. And then of course your local news, sports, traffic, all of the good stuff, all the good nuggets that you need. And just again, remember, we're not even in the peak of hurricane season, so be sure you are prepared now and not down the road. Of course, we are familiar with tropical systems here in South Louisiana, but of course you don't want to be caught off guard, especially with the coronavirus. But of course, as I mentioned, you can always find the latest on brproud.com, and that wraps this up. Again, it's now 9:30, so you can always find the latest on the free BR Proud app and brproud.com. Take care.